Hello, everyone. I think I've got the screen set up right. Good afternoon. Today is Monday, January the 12th, 2026, and you have joined Ask a Care Navigator, Mondays with Maureen. Hello, everyone. My name is Maureen Williams, and I'm the Director of Care Navigation here at Four Seasons, the care you trust. And we try to create this space on most Mondays to talk about issues associated with living well, aging well, and perhaps how Four Seasons may be of service. If you have any questions or comments about Four Seasons at any time, we're available 24/7. Give us a call at 866-466-9734. Or you can go to our webpage, which is fourseasonscare.org. Please spell out the number four, FOURSEASONSCARE.org. And I'm delighted to share with you that Four Seasons is so grateful to the Van Winkle Law Firm for serving as the title sponsor for this program, Ask a Care Navigator, Mondays with Maureen. The Van Winkle Law Firm is one of the most respected and established law firms in North Carolina, providing exceptional legal representation to individuals, families, and businesses in matters of personal law, commercial law, business law, and estate planning matters. If you have any desire to learn more or to schedule a consult, please go to the website, which is www.vwlawfirm.com, and they'd be happy to assist you. And truly, I am so grateful to our community collaborators there. And you'll be meeting some of the attorneys in that firm over the course of this year because they'll be joining me. All right. Last week, I want to give a shout out and a gratitude again to my community collaborator, Jan Nickerson, who joined us to talk about continuing care retirement communities, or CCRCs. And she does this from the perspective of a consumer. She doesn't work in the industry. She shares what she has. All this information she's really an expert, definitely from the perspective as a consumer and otherwise. It was so helpful. But you might say, well, but where will I live? CCRCs aren't for me. That concept, that community type of living, that just doesn't work for me. So suppose it's not for you. There may be a variety of reasons for that. So where might you live as you age and even well into retirement? Well, let's ask this. Where will you live? Oh, I thought this was going to go forward. Sorry. Where will you live? Let's see if I can do this right. There we go. Perhaps you might think about living in your own home. What about my own home? Well, what about it is right. Consider this. Is your home safe? Is it accessible? Does it incorporate universal design? Is it able to be visited by others safely and easily? And there's so much more that we can unpack just in that topic. But you want to ask yourself, does it need modifications? Perhaps so. Perhaps so. Do you need a home assessment to address these issues of safety, accessibility, universal design, and visitability? What will this cost? What is your budget? And you need to know that there are experts available that do just this very thing. In the communities where I serve and the communities where you live, you can just look for aging in place or universal design. There are lots of topic cues you can look for that. But there are people who will come in and do these home assessments, advise you on the modifications, and even contract out to get the work done for you. It's okay. And I also want you to know, if you go to aarp.org and you search living in my own home, I did a search for that. There's lots of resources there, just at aarp.org. If you want to have one place to start, I think that's helpful. But there are experts that do just this, where we live here in Western North Carolina and all across the country. And sometimes that's money extremely well spent. So think about it. Are you living in your own home? Do you want to stay there the rest of your life? What does that look like? Well, there are other options. Where are you going to live? There are such things called livable communities. Livable communities. These are safe, secure housing choices for all ages and abilities. You have to be independent to live in these communities. You might want to participate in community life. They're generally affordable housing, not so much in the affordable housing category, but they're affordable homes and communities. Mobility is a key. There must be no need to drive to be in a livable community. There are sidewalks, there are walkways, or public transport to shopping areas and green spaces for recreation. Is your home in a livable community? And if you just search livable community, you'll find lots of information that pops up about that. And in fact, AARP is another source that I use. AARP.org has some resources this called What is a Livable Community? So that might be something to think about. There are livable communities in Western North Carolina. Well, there's another option here. Shared housing. Shared housing. And you see I've given you a website here. Shared housing. This might be a situation where you move in with a family member. Maybe a family member moves in with you. But if you're staying in your own home, perhaps you can hire a student to do chores and run errands for you in exchange for free rent. You might be able to rent rooms to the public through safe and secure services, some of the bigger platforms, and make sure you're safe in your space. You might want to invite friends to share housing costs with you and maybe move into a single family home together. I know people who've done that, just that. And right here, I've given you a website, the National Shared Housing Resource Center. This is their website, nationalsharedhousing.org. Lots more information about shared housing, opportunities that might exist in your area where you live, or what to plan for or look for if you want to open up your home to a shared housing situation. Where will you live? There's another option called co-housing, different from shared housing. This is an intentional community where residents intentionally collaborate and plan, design, and manage. They manage their neighborhood. We do have some of those in this area. This combines private homes with extensive shared spaces and facilities that might be shared, that will be shared. It fosters social interaction. It fosters a very strong sense of community. There is one community in Western North Carolina that's just in its baby steps. It's initiated, but this is a wonderful concept. This might be a community that might espouse certain values, like sustainability might be important. So there is a website for resources on co-housing, and it's www.cohousing.org. Perhaps you might want to be interested in moving into a co-housing situation or starting a co-housing situation. Very creative. Where will you live? Maybe you might live in a pocket neighborhood. Now, there's no particular literature out there on pocket neighborhoods that I could find to give you as a resource. I found that interesting. But pocket neighborhood is a construct that was invented, I think, in the mid-1990s by an architect. And so what is a pocket neighborhood? It's a clustered group of homes or even apartments gathered around a shared green space, like a garden or a courtyard. It fosters a strong sense of community, and it offers both privacy and connection at the same time. Really interesting construct. We have actually quite a few pocket neighborhoods here in Western North Carolina. So if you want to know more about pocket neighborhoods, search it. But particularly if you put in pocket neighborhood, the search will come up of pocket neighborhoods in your area. And that's fine. It might tell you a little bit more about how each pocket neighborhood constructed itself. It's really very fascinating. We do have quite a few around here, as I said. Where might you live? Might it be in a condominium or townhome or home community designed for those age 55 and older? I'm there. There are lots of those communities out there. This is a website that will guide you and direct you. There's a map where you can find where these are across the country or where you live. We have quite a few of these here in Western North Carolina. Western North Carolina is a big destination for retirees for good reason. It's beautiful here. But this might be something that you want to consider. And you also have to think about the cost of all of this stuff too. I'm not even going to touch that. There are costs with all of this, but you have to do your own budget and find out what works for you financially. Much like Jan talked about last week, if you want to live in a CCRC, it might not be as expensive as you think. And living in some of these communities I'm mentioning might not be as expensive as you think. There's another type of 55 plus community based on income-based affordable housing. And this is literally what it means. And if you ask anyone in the area agencies on aging around here what the number one concern is, and it's affordable housing. It's a problem here in Western North Carolina, and I suspect probably across the country too. But here are two websites that might give you some information on what's available in your community that is affordable income-based housing, income-based affordable housing. And that is after55.com. And the other one is the seniorhousingnet.com. Lots of information, lots of communities that are affordable housing, income-based on those websites. Okay, there's another type. Where will you live? The retirement rental communities. These are also known as senior living communities. These are rent month to month without a huge buy-in payment to be able to live there. We have a good number of those in this area as well. They will require a deposit, but not those huge entrance fees that you hear of, or called buy-ins, or the annuities. None of that exists. These are rental communities. We do have a few in Western North Carolina. These are, of course, based on age. So, but wherever you live in your area, you can search senior living communities, and you'll have a list of the various communities where you live pop up. But this might be someplace where you would like to live. And it's great, and it may be far more affordable than you think. The final place where I'm going to share with you where you might decide to live is called the Village Model of Aging in Community. Notice I didn't say aging in a community or the community. It's aging in community. What is this? This is connection through mutual support. These are neighbors helping neighbors. These are grassroots, nonprofit, member-driven organizations. All right. You don't have to be in a geographic neighborhood per se. You might have to be in a geography like a city. I know there are a couple of communities like that around here, but they redefine aging by being so that the neighbors are a key resource to each other in the community and for the community members who wish to age in place. It's fascinating. There's a social support network to provide key services like transportation or running errands or technology support. There might be someone in the community, in these community member-driven grassroots organizations who will be willing to come to people's homes and set up their internet, for example, or troubleshoot. It generally reflects the membership reflects the communities that they serve. And you can get more information about this, fascinating, from something called the Village to Village Network. And I've provided the website here for you. It's vtvnetwork.org. Isn't this fascinating? And perhaps some of this resonates with you. What I want to encourage you to do is start planning now for your aging journey. All of you at any age. Where do you see yourself in retirement? What does that look like? Start thinking about it now. And if you're at retirement age or 55 and older now, it's not too late. You can still think about this. What does that look like? But it'd be so much easier on you and your loved ones if you've thought about it. You've had conversations with them. You start making plans right now. And you need to know that there's help out there for you. In fact, my team and I at Four Seasons Care Navigation, we can come alongside you and help connect you with resources and help you make plans to get you pointed in the right direction. That's a lot of what we do at Care Navigation. Now, for all of this information that I've shared to you today, I have to give my gratitude to Deborah Campbell, Jan Nickerson, and Laurel Radley, who created the original presentation from which this information was taken, upon which this information is based. And I've added a few things to it, but I'm really grateful to them. If you have any questions about anything that I've shared today, or you want to know more about Care Navigation or anything Four Seasons, call us at 866-466-9734, or go to our webpage, which is fourseasonscare.org, and we'll be happy to answer any inquiry you send in. Well, join me next Monday, January the 19th, 2026, for another episode of Ask a Care Navigator, Mondays with Maureen. Join me at noon next week and let me know your thoughts. Take care and have a happy Monday. Bye.